All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see people popping in there. And I don't know if Alan's going to make it or not. So, with that being said, Jamie, can you please get us started off right, brother?
I will try my best. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, sir. How are you doing, man?
Better than I deserve. How bad did I mess that up?
You didn't. You did good.
Without practice and without warning. So, yeah. Hey, man, thanks for having me. I may be in and out this evening. Wife's been under the weather a little bit, and she's hollering that she's hungry and that her head hurts. So that leaves Pop to get stuff done. So I'll be back. But man, let's have some fun. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I know there's a lot of stuff y'all want to talk about. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Gee, what's happening, man? You haven't been here for a while.
You know, living the dream, working, just having fun. I've been doing a lot of stuff over on Rumble, so because it's free and I can show firearms.
Yeah, I've not really been on Rumble too much. I had problems when it first came out, so I haven't really been over there much. But
Yeah, I mean, it's still, they're still building it. It's still got its growing pains, but uh, it's definitely got a lot more freedoms. You know, like I can go live from the range and shoot guns.
well, no one wants to see you anyway, so.
I know that feeling.
Rob, what's happening, man?
Not much, just the normal, surviving, getting by. Um, yeah, as far as G23 there, I thought I enjoyed seeing him shoot an M&P because he had a little smile on his face like a little kid would. He was all lit up and stuff. Yeah, of course, he used to talk crap, but the smile, that little giggle, just gives it
That's
away. So if you shoot
that's because I was
M&Ps,
talking shit the
definitely
whole
throw a
time I was
video.
firing it. I was talking
Whatever. Yeah,
mad shit.
you've been trying to downplay it for a year now, but no. Other than that, thanks for having me. Obviously, thanks for joining us, everybody out there in the chat or watching the show, and yeah. So that's basically all I got.
So he was like a little schoolgirl, huh?
Oh yeah, he was giggling. It was on DM Foss's, or I'm not sure which one, but when he went over to hang out with DM Foss, so yeah, he was shooting an M&P, and you could see him smiling and getting a little giggle going on, and then he comes back like, "Oh no, I love my Glocks, I love my Glocks." So
Glock fanboys, man. What can you do? And we got Jay Delta. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, thank you. My first time on this your show. I didn't know you had one, so thank you for having me tonight. Everything's going good. We went from a 72-degree weather to 45. So 2 days my heater hasn't turned on and it just turned up a few minutes ago. So it could
I
be
hear you
worse.
there. It was a little bit warmer here. It wasn't quite anywhere there. It was in the 50s, and it dropped all the way back in the 20s now.
Yeah, so it could be worse. So I'm grateful. Thanks for having me tonight.
Yeah, man, good to have you. Went over and watched one of your videos earlier today. I thought I was already subscribed to you, but I get lost on some of that sometimes. But yeah, I went over and watched your video on the CZ earlier today. It was a good video, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And any fan of a CZ is a fan of mine.
Yeah, I had 4 and I parted with 1, and so I still got 3.
Nice, nice, man. Yeah, CZ is the way, man. CZ is the
Mhm.
way.
It is. I mean, you get a lot for your investment straight out of the factory.
I just can't fit in those damn skinny jeans that you have to. That's required to own a CZ. So
Don't
Well,
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
yeah,
I'm not that skinny.
don't
yeah,
start with the whole skinny jean, culottes, uh,
I guess I don't qualify then.
capris, all that crap. Here's the thing, man, and I know y'all don't care, and I shouldn't even say this live and in public, but the Falcons just fired their head coach. Y'all know I live in Georgia. And I'm not typically a pro football fan, but
Mm.
this man would come out and stand on the sideline in whatever you call those pants that he always wore. They went down past the knees a little bit. Um, Skinny jeans is not the word. Why are you giggling, Jay Delta? Have you seen him?
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about then,
Yes,
right?
sir.
I'm like,
Like capris or something
yeah, man.
that girls wear.
Yeah.
surfer shorts.
Oh,
He was probably wearing those like surfer shorts.
Yeah.
Capri.
I don't know. I don't know
Whatever
something.
you call them. I'm like, what in the wide world of sports has happened to football coaches?
Mhm.
Think about Vince Lombardi. Would you see him wearing that kind of crap? No. I'm talking about they fired him, and I'm like, I told Jay, my son, I said, thank God, man. At least we can maybe get a coach that looks like a freaking real man on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that in itself would make your team play better, don't y'all think?
I hear John Harbaugh is looking for a new job.
Yeah, and the Falcons are talking to him. But this is the thing about that, and then I'm going to shut up and go see about my wife. All right. John Harbaugh, it was said, and this is what his camp put out, and that was just to filter the offers that he would be getting. Number one, he wants $20 million a year. Number two, he wants $10 million a year for his staff payroll budget. And number three, he wants total control of the roster. Well, that's not going to happen in Atlanta.
Mm.
So I think that what happens though is when you really approach him and you begin to get serious in the talks, I think I think the real numbers would come out. The Falcons have hired Matt Ryan to be their president of football, and I know y'all didn't come in here to talk about football, but Mr. Scotsman, can I ask a favor of you?
Of course you can, brother.
You know, last night Friday night on Georgia Shooting Connection, we were talking about 44s. And there's an individual in the side chat out there that's one of our viewers. And love this guy. Wished I knew him better. Edward Petty sent me an email with his 44s, pictures of those. If I could have your permission, I would like to show
Absolutely,
his
brother. You don't need my
44.
permission. You know that. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I try to be delicate.
I know. You don't need my permission. You go right ahead, my man.
Are y'all ready for this?
Especially it's when it's 44 Magnum. How dare you even ask me?
Well, they're 44s. They're not all 44 Magnums. You know, there are other cartridges.
I know. But how dare you ask me? If you know 44 anything, I love it.
But if it was a Glock picture,
If it was a Glock, you'd be getting banned.
All right, I have pre-screened Edwards 44s, and I can assure you there are no Glocks in these pictures. Let's do this one first. Can y'all see that? It's a little blurry. This is a Ruger Super Blackhawk 44 Magnum Blued. Are you out there, Edward? I hope you can see this. I wish there was.
Yeah, he's out there.
629. Look at those grips, guys. Those are not your standard Smith & Wesson grips.
No, those. I'm pretty sure those are rosewood grips, right?
That would be my inclination.
They look like rosewood to me.
Edward will fill us in on the side chat. Oh, that's a sexy beast right there. I don't care who you are. Now, look at that and think about a Glock. Just look at that and think about a plastic striker fired anything. Ooh, ah. That is a Colt 4440, I think.
Just look at the clean lines, though. The clean lines, man.
Yeah, that is so. Somebody said Friday night, that just screams 1934 lawman, you know? And check this out, the lanyard, the strap lanyard on the butt. That's
1909. Yeah, man. That's awesome.
1909. And then, of course, you got your classic.
And look at those purdy grips, dude. Those are some purdy grips.
Those are factory grips, right?
Yeah, they look factory. I mean, look at the clean lines on them. Look at the nice color, man. That's awesome.
Nice wood figure. You don't see that kind of wood figure in a revolver grip very often.
Not today. Only in the old school ones. Only old school.
So if you could put nice wood grips on a Glock, would that change your opinion?
No, it would not.
No.
That would be. How do I say this? Well, I know.
Let me help you. Lipstick on a pig.
There you go. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let me give you the list. 29-2, Colt New Service 4440, Smith 629-6, and the Ruger Super Blackhawk. And that would be in reverse order of how we show them. Thank you, Edward. You made my day again, bro.
Oh, he says that one. He doesn't think that one was ever fired outside the factory, man. Nice.
Goodness gracious.
For me, not being a revolver guy, I would state the first one purely by looks. I like the looks of that first one better, which I assume is a Ruger Blackhawk.
Yeah.
In reverse order. So, yeah. Now, this is, again, purely ignorance and looks.
Yeah, you can't beat a nice old school revolver, man.
Do you know the difference, Rob, between the Blackhawks and the rest of them? I mean, I know that's the only Ruger in the bunch.
No, not other than, manufacturer, basically, no.
All right, Ruger Blackhawks are single action, and they have adjustable sights. Hey, Dwayne 7834, good to see you, buddy. KFW's out there too, right?
Yep, KFW is out there. Yep.
Ruger old 3-screw. Dang, no wonder you got that one, Edward. Yeah. So the Blackhawks are single action, adjustable sights, and they're tanks. And then the Smith & Wessons and the Colt are probably double actions. Although the Colt, that one would been that would be a double action. It's a Colt new service, 4440. 4440 is a really old cartridge design, but other than the Blackhawks, the rest of them are double action. And you understand what we mean by single action and double action, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So, pull of the trigger, move the hammer, drop it with a single, double. You can pull it back, set it, and also potentially release it as well, I believe.
Single action, you have to cock the hammer back.
Okay, so I got the order backwards, I believe.
Double action, you squeeze the trigger, it moves the hammer back. And if you listen close, you can hear and feel in the trigger pull. You can, especially with the finer, older Smiths, you can feel that thing stage.
Okay.
All right, he's sending in to get the transfer bar put in.
Yeah, but he's got the parts.
Yeah.
Click, bang, or bang, bang. Good one, Vanessa. I like that.
Okay, he didn't do it. The original owner did it.
That's what I suspected.
But you got all the original parts, so that's good.
Yeah, if I ever got rid of it, Edward, I would just sell it with the parts. Anyway, let me go check on wife and.
Hopefully she's doing all right. Give her our best, Hopefully
I'll try, brother.
Better soon there.
But
all right.
Look, man, she had me at the dollar store for an hour yesterday. I despise Dollar General store with a passion.
What in the heck do you need at the dollar store to take an hour?
A list, dude.
Who takes a list to the dollar store?
I do when wife wants stuff, and I got to remember
Wait,
it.
Jamie, are we talking dollar store or Dollar General? I mean, we okay. See, now there's a difference. The dollar store, I could kind of lean more towards Scotsman. Like, hey, really, what the hell? But with the Dollar General, there's a lot more shit going on. So yeah, you could end up with a list. I get that.
Isn't it the General Dollar Store though, or not the Dollar General?
No, it's Dollar General. DG.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we got one here, and I'd say the longest part's just checking out. There's always like one person working. You got people running around the store, probably stealing shit, like crazy dude down the back aisle. You don't even know what the hell he's doing.
Thank you, Rob. The law was there when I was there, man. The law was in there while I was there.
Everybody's got coupons on their phone. None of them work. How much is this? It's one of those stores.
Rob, thank you, man. She sent me with a coupon that had already expired, man.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot something. I got to run back and grab it. Yeah, I'd rather drive right the hell past it and go right to the grocery store.
Hold on. So she didn't go. She sent you.
Right.
What
with
the
a
hell?
List with her debit card.
I
know, man. A list.
The only thing that is kind of bad about that, Jamie, they don't sell reloading supplies. They don't sell ammo. So, I mean, with her debit card, it doesn't really help too much. I mean, it's not like you can get powder. You can't get powder. You can't get primers. You can't get,
so this is the thing, G. I go through this store and I have to walk around several times to get all the stuff, to find all the stuff, because I'm not a Dollar General store person. So, but she is like the self-proclaimed queen of Dollar General in Rome, Georgia. So she sends me with her debit card, her list, and a $5 coupon, right? All right. So we
Damn,
go
you
through.
brave, man. You
Yeah.
brave.
No, I'm an idiot, Rob.
Yeah,
Okay?
no, man, I give it to you. I would have been like, oh, hell no. Hell, I give it. You're a good man, man. You're a good man.
I try to take care of the old lady, but yeah, man. So we finally find all the stuff on the list, and I took my pen. I marked out every time I found one. So we get up there, and the law's up there, and they're talking about the North Rome store. I'm in the East Rome store, and one of their employees just went ape crap crazy and got fired and threatened to shoot up the place. And he said, I'm going to shoot up the East Rome store. And the cops came over there right as I'm checking out. So then the coupon didn't work. So that extends the visit out. Not really. If everything goes perfect according to plan, there's nobody in line in front of you. And with the list that I had, theoretically, I could have been out in 35 minutes. But if I go to Walmart or wherever, I can go through the self-checkout, check out myself, throw my card in there, I'm gone, right? Yeah, it's probably going to cost a little more money. What kind of question is that?
I was thinking that too, but
It's crazy. As soon as the girl's like, can you grab this and grab that? And, here's this or that. It's like once, they get those add-ons, it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I don't mind, something quick out of my way, but I don't know some of these processes other people are into, not trying to get into all that shit. And those stores, man, I've been bitching about them for years. Like, it's, they really need to do something. The workers, even over here, like that I've seen, like, I don't think it's worth the money dealing with the public you got to deal with. And, people are freaking out, trying to attack you. It's just, and there's usually only one worker in the whole damn place running around trying to stock shit and stuff like that. I wouldn't want my daughter working at one of them stores. I put it that way.
Here's a question.
Dude. It's typically always one person, like you said. They're always horrible stores to go to.
All right, let me say this about that, and then then I really gotta go. All right, so there was actually a person out there putting stock out, and he actually helped me find one of the things on my list. But guess what happened when the law came in? They all stopped what they're doing to go talk to the police, right? Because the manager at the other store had called the manager of this store and the police. And theoretically, this guy they just fired for shoplifting or whatever he did. Anyway, man, it was crazy. And I know that Bo has dollar stores because of that comment he put. Never go to Dollar General not carrying. That's a fact.
If you're going to go to the Dollar General, not only do you have your primary, you have to have a backup. There's got to be a pocket gun and your primary.
And a knife.
At least one knife.
At least
I would have a backup knife to the backup knife. So I would have at least probably 3 knives.
And the QRF stage in the parking lot.
Yeah, you know why he's got to have a backup knife to the backup knife, right, Rob? Because his Glock's probably not going to work right.
Right. The sights blew off or something. Yeah.
It's going to have a failure to eject.
The sights can't blow off if you don't have them on there.
Yeah. Wow. All right. I'll be back in a few, guys.
All right. Good luck, Jamie.
Thanks, man.
So that must be old general stores because down here it's about the same thing. There's some rough neighborhoods. Yeah, rough neighborhoods where the stores are.
Well, they just put one out here. I'm in the middle of nowhere, but they just put one out here. But it's the same way. There's only one person ever in there.
What state is the new guy from?
Well, the fact that it says NC on his
Fayetteville, North Carolina, right outside Fort
All right.
Bragg, about 8 miles from
Okay.
Fort Bragg.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I could barely see his thing, so I'm looking on a phone. But
I'm on my
all
phone
right,
too,
just
and
to
I
get
can
an
see
idea.
it.
So,
I guess that's what happens when you have a Samsung and not some wannabe.
Yeah, things have changed. They
hey,
used
this
to call
is
us.
a Samsung. It might
Yeah,
be like an antique, but it's a Samsung. Damn
they used to
black
call
guy.
us Vietnam. So that's many years ago, but things have changed a little. So
Okay. Yeah,
Are we
no, just
talking?
trying to
Is
get an
it?
idea because of the store locations. Like, is generally like that spread across the country, or I assume urban areas they might be a little worse. But I think their practice, they only really have one or two people at the store. I think it's one of their main kind of downfalls, where people say it looks more like a stock room half the time than a store and long waits.
Mhm.
So to me, that kills it with the convenience part. Like, if it's going to take me longer to go through the line there, I'd rather drive past there and go to the regular store. It's usually about speed for me. You know what I mean? So uh, whether if I'm only, I would only go there for one, like toilet paper or coffee. I'm not going to go there grocery shopping, at least
Mhm.
not for me. So again, so in that case, it's just easier a lot of times just to drive right the hell by them, and it's still quicker. So, but that's not good business wise if it's supposed to be a convenience type store.
Right. Yeah, we got one here that caught on fire. So they said.
So a lot of them, like they used to start out like that they were out in like your rural area where there just like there wasn't a whole lot of things, so that you would have something, you know. But now they've kind of moved
Some
into
kind of
cities
store.
and crap like that, where they're kind of taking over everything.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't really use them, but there's probably 4 of them within 15-20 minute drive of my house.
Mhm.
Nah. Once in a while, they got a cheaper deal on coffee here, but you got to be careful because they do, like, the regular store does like 3 different container sizes, which if you didn't know better, you'd think they were all the large, but oh no, they're off by a couple ounces each canister. So they must make like 20 different canister sizes at the store or whatever, but our factory. But they'll do sometimes it'll be cheaper at the general dollar that I've noticed for coffee and stuff. So but as a whole, I think, a lot of their stuff has that whole shrinkflation to the products, even candy, buying the
Mhm.
little dollar bags of candy. They ain't a dollar. They're like $1.50, $1.25. And there's
Right.
usually a little less than you would get per pound if you bought the slightly larger bag at the grocery store. So
Right.
technically you're paying more. Like, it's a smaller amount, but you pay more for it a lot of times. So it's, to me, even being a cheap son of a bitch, just seems cheaper to buy the regular shit in most cases.
Mm.
But
Well,
just me.
the Dollar General, I mean, they've got a little bit of everything, They, that's kind of where they kind of fall in. Now, like going to a regular like dollar store, I don't even go to those anymore unless I like absolutely have to. Uh, but like Scotsman knows what I'm saying about. I would rather go to Bimart. Like over on the West Coast, we have little stores that's called Bimart. It's kind of like Walmart, but way better because they're locally owned and it's only a Northwest thing. Um, Membership only. But I mean, fuck, it's $5 for a lifetime membership. So I mean, even your cheap ass can get one of those.
No, I
You
refuse.
wouldn't do it. It's a
All the
membership.
membership stores, I refuse. But go ahead.
They sell firearms and they sell ammo for cheap.
He don't
That's
care. It
good.
requires a membership. He don't want none of it.
That's exactly right. Exactly
The thing
right.
is, I don't even really think that they require the membership anymore. Honestly, they used to. You'd have to like show the card every time, but like I don't even really think that they like check anymore.
To me, the whole thing's crazy, man. Out of all the stores out there, I decided I spent the time, I spent the money, I drove to your location. I decided to spend money at your place. And now you're gonna charge me to get, I mean, is this a freaking nightclub or something? Like, no, No, to me, it's just, I can't do it. I know they give the coupons and it works out like free and shit, but then on that other aspect, now you
It's $5
volunteer to
for the entire lifetime that you'll ever go there.
Yeah, but you also make yourself, it's almost like waving away your right in a sense to where now they have the right to check your receipt. Like if you
Oh, they
think
don't
I
do that
stole
there.
something, just
They
call
don't-
the cops. Just call the cops. You think I stole something? Like, when you find out you're wrong, I won't come back and spend more money here. That's fine. But I don't want to get approached at the door. I don't go to the gas station on the way out. They're like, "Whoa, let me check your receipt." At the store or whatever. To me, it's that's that type of shit that's going to end up getting me in jail one of these days. So I just avoid it. I'm not doing it.
Well, see, okay, Bimart doesn't do that. Bimart does not do that. They don't check your receipt. They don't even have anyone close to the back and fucking door. They just you just go. You go through the cashier, you pay your shit, you go. It's not like Walmart where they got fucking somebody standing there wanting to like mean mug you till you give them the receipt. And I look at them and just give them a fucking bird and walk on by because I don't let them.
It's like Walmart. You don't have to have a membership there, but they try to ask for it every single time, and they always give me weird looks because I got a big beard, whatever. And I always tell them no and just walk on by. I don't give a shit. Like I've already paid for it. It's mine. You do not have the right to ask me. You're not security. You're a freaking door greeter. That's it. You're a door greeter. You're not a freaking security guard. You have zero right to ask me for anything.
Hell, security doesn't even have a right to ask you for the receipt. All they can do is say, "Hey, we need to have you come over here while we wait for law enforcement to show up."
Yeah, that's another reason I'm not a fan of those self checkouts too, because it hasn't happened to me, but I've heard about it. I'll say and seen a bunch of videos where they're just like, something will be didn't scan right, and the next thing you know, they're trying. You get home and the police are showing up or something like that. Like that would freak me out in a sense.
Oh no, dude! I've literally had people watch me check out at Walmart with a fucking person checking out because I don't do the whole self checkout thing. I'm sorry, I'm not paid to work there. I'm buying something, so someone else is taking care of it. I'm not a paid worker. So they've literally watched me freaking pay with someone there and then ask me for my fucking receipt. Yeah, no, you're not getting no receipt. You literally just watch me pay. I had one lady almost shit a brick when I told her no. You should have seen her face, man. It dropped like a ton of bricks, and she's just kind of standing there shocked to high heaven. Like, yeah, no, ain't happening. Try stop me. Ain't happening.
They don't even ask me anymore. Like they just kind of just have a good day, and because they know I'm gonna say no, I'm just not gonna fucking put up with it. Now, like I go to Costco, and I know, hey, guess what? That's part of the you agreed to that when you got their membership. That's a whole different ball game.
I see Daniel's comment, I think. Nah, man, I've never been the shoplifter. Honestly, never have. Where I grew up, people were expecting me to be that. That was the part I was supposed to play. And if anything went bad, I was the first one to get looked at. So I've kind of spent my life trying to avoid that type of shit. Wow. Even getting looked at like that.
I've met you. I'd probably say, hey man, I need to talk to you over here for a minute.
Yeah, no, I'm proud of my clean record. God damn it! So don't insult me with your stupid shit about stealing a candy bar or something.
Dude, I would accuse you of stealing a fucking penny candy.
It's messed up, man.
So, yeah, gee, what else has been going on with you, man?
Was that to me?
Yeah, what's been going on with you? You haven't been on for a while. What's been going on?
You know, dealing with wife's health issues and crap. So just having life. So yeah, it's been one hell of a thing going on lately.
Yeah, Edward. When it comes to like Lowe's or Home Depot, I go to the contractor checkout because they always have someone over there.
Yeah.
It's a little bit further to walk, but whatever. I go to the contractor checkout and check out there.
I usually go there, like, the pro desk or whatever, because it's through an account. Not that I credit things or whatever, but either way, like I kind of have to go to over there most times. But once in a while, if I'm just grabbing something I need while I'm there, I'm forced to go through those checkouts. And I bitch about it every time, honestly, because it's the same process, a big ordeal. Like, I don't know, just to check out sometimes. And half the machines don't use cash anymore. So like, I don't know. And I'm a
Yeah,
cash guy, so I'm just
that's the thing of it. So I typically when I go there, I park on the other end of the carport because I know I'm going to go to the contractor side and walk out that door. So I park to where I know I've got easier access to my car.
Yeah, I usually park over there too, so or in the bay if I'm picking up. But even if I'm not picking up like an actual load and I'm still there for work, then I usually don't pull in the contract area because it's I think of myself as courteous, and I get pissed off all the time when you see some asshole in there in his little Jetta or something walking out with nothing, just hopping back in his car. And, you got us people trying to wrap up like sheetrock, drop ceiling tiles, all this type of shit. You shouldn't be getting wet out on the side because you got these assholes in there taking up the contractor spots. Like, honestly, if we didn't have the laws we did, I would drag their fucking cars right out of there. But again, try to avoid the problems, but so I don't do that. But it's the same thing with the people in the handicap spots. Like, if you are not handicapped, I don't care if you got a nice Mercedes and shit. Don't be rolling up in the handicap spots, the closest ones to the building, just because you're gonna be a minute parked all crooked and shit, being an asshole. You should have your never mind. But
No,
those little things bug the shit out. I'm not gonna go start shit with people. I might spit on your windshield when I walk by. I might do that, but I'm not gonna start shit with people. Just because, I don't know, my dad was one of them people that couldn't get to the spot. He'd have to go all the way back home and shit and try to come back to the store again because the kids are running on the carts and all this shit. Like, I don't know. If people are that inconsiderate, maybe they should have a broken leg. But again, I don't do this stuff.
You're not wrong though. People do that shit all the time. It's just like, you see all these videos of people arguing over a freaking parking spot, or people leaving carts in the freaking bays and stuff like that. Like, it's not that hard to go walk the freaking cart and put it away. It's not that hard.
Yeah, but it's also, not our place to make everything right, because that's how you lose your rights and put yourself and family at risk.
Yep. I always try to go to stores early in the morning or later in the day. That way, hopefully, there's not too many people around. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not really a people person, so
I like good people, but not a big fan of crowds or what they consider the average people. So
right.
but good people are great. I got no problem with that. Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can't stand busy stores, man. I like to get in, get out. That's another reason to go to the contractor side, because you can usually get in and out a lot faster as well. So, Jay Dowell, tell the folks about yourself, man.
Yeah, I'm just listening to you guys. I guess we all suffer the same. Every all those stores like Lowe's and all that. So Yeah. So I'm retired twice. Retired from the army in 1997, and I just retired from the cable industry last year in October. Well, actually 2024. Yeah, 2024. Yeah, 2024. So, um, Mary have two boys. Old Mary, I got six grandkids, four adults and two small ones. Got a 3-year old and a 5-year old. So, um, and the reason I'm on YouTube because the guys that I shoot with, we call ourselves the geriatric squad because we all in the late late 50s or early 60s or in the middle. So they asked me to create a channel, and I told them, there's a million good channels out there. So they insisted, and I got a channel, and here we are tonight.
Nice, man. That's cool, dude.
Yeah, shoot mostly 22 LR. We do a lot of bench rest, and we shoot targets, small targets, all the way to 100 yards, and then also we also shoot center fire. Uh, I am blessed to have some ranges here. There's about 4 or 5 ranges. One of those you can shoot all the way to a mile. So
Nice.
it's yeah, it's nice. And I don't know, you heard of Coleman's Creek? It's here in North Carolina. They do a lot of competition there. But
Okay.
yeah, you gotta be a member or have somebody to sponsor you, or go there as a guest. But it's a very nice place. They got many ranges, pistols, shotgun. Then you got ranges with different targets, metal targets. There, some of them are marked to 1,200 meters, and then there's none. I mean, there's another range that they're not marked, and you just go out there with your rangefinder and makes it fun. And they got one range up to 400 yards that is dedicated to rainfire. So a lot of fun out there.
Very cool, man. Sounds like a good place.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this is the South, North Carolina. So
Yep. I've only been to North Carolina once. I haven't really been too many places out there, but
he gotten crazy here. I hear you guys about lows, and I just the same thing here. So
yeah.
Fort Bragg is here, so you got people from every state. So everybody got a different habit of driving. Boy, I tell you, you have nerves of steels when you go out there. It's crazy. Oh my
Having
goodness.
driven in North Carolina, yes, I can agree.
Yeah,
People
man.
are
I agree to
freaking
that
nuts.
too.
Oh my goodness. So we got but um, good people. We got a lot of good people. We got some crazies. So but it's a good place to live. So I've been here since 1978, and I was in
Damn.
Fort Bragg, and then going back and forward. Then in 1997, I retired from the
Oh,
army.
been there a long
Yeah.
time, man.
Oh yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah. So
Nice, man. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the driving because whenever I'm like cutting down to Florida or something along those ways, oh my gosh, like I used to like set crews sometimes, and you just cannot do that around through the Carolinas because
no.
there'd be a car pulled
Yeah.
over on the side, and like everybody goes from like 70 down to 30, like there's an accident, but no, it's just a car on the side, and then everybody
Yeah,
punches
people
it
slow
again.
down.
It's like what the hell's going on? You
I
locking up the
know.
brakes
I
and
know.
shit. Like,
Yeah. I
like,
hear you, man. The same way here. I
like,
said,
Tennes-
man, what's going
yeah,
on?
I'm like,
Tennessee.
what the hell? Like, this is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
like,
And people want to look. That's the way it is. I'll tell them
yeah,
there's
it's
no
weird,
accident.
man.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
goddamn, I'd say, that is one thing to look out for when you get down to Florida, like,
That's
you get
right.
down there, West Palm Beach or any of that. Nobody uses blinkers. All the old, they don't even
No.
turn their head. They just cut the fuck over. They don't care. Like I've never been almost ran off the road more. And everybody talks about New York and Jersey.
Oh
I
no.
grew up
Dude,
driving around here.
I would rather
Man,
drive in California or New York than North Carolina, because Carolina, they are ridiculous about how they cut people off.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, Tennessee people, those guys will cut you off in a heartbeat.
Oh, Tennessee is nothing, dude. Tennessee is nothing.
Man,
The Carolinas are by far one of the worst.
I lived in Simpsonville, South Carolina for a year, and going up into Greenville, that's nothing. You know, running
No one can trust the word you say because you like Glocks.
I stayed in Raleigh for a little while, and it was interesting, definitely.
Beautiful country, but it's crazy.
Yeah, and even traveling and stuff, I've always had a good time down there in the Carolinas. So I would say the same thing, where it seems like in general the people are a hell of a lot nicer than they are around here. Like they seem like
my wife's from New York. She grew up in Brooklyn.
Okay,
yeah.
So she probably thinks it's a hell of a lot nicer, because I can travel anywhere and people are nicer.
You know? Yeah, they are. But when we first got here, she was pregnant with our younger. And she went to drop me on base because, we had to do the exercise in the morning called physical training, PT.
Yep.
And it was where the major headquarters is, where the generals and all those guys are. There's a divider there to make that left turn. So if you miss that divider, you're going to go over that divider. She went over and she hit a car coming on. And she didn't like it. And then after that, she really didn't like it. And then she asked, so we're at the subways. I mean, you're not told her, you mean the restaurants, right? Because there's no, the buses run maybe till 8 o'clock. And then after that, you don't have a car, you have to walk. So really different out here. But she's used to it now. So,
Yeah. What's up with the streets too there? Because the streets are messed up. It's been quite a while since I've been out there, but I remember I had trying to use maps to navigate around there was absolutely insane. It tell you to go one way, then you're trying to see where it's telling you to turn, and it's straight and not a turn, but it is a turn, but it's not a turn. It's like, what in the hell's going on?
Yeah. You got you got usually 3-way lane. You make a left, and you're trying. You got for example, you get a green light, go left, and you're gonna do U-turn, and this guy coming out of McDonald's cut you off. So, we got those things, and yellow means keep going, and red means you got 4 seconds, don't stop. That's what it means. So, you have to be careful. You know how you go to driver school and all that other stuff, and they tell you count to 4,000. Look both ways. You got to do that here. When you're red, you're going to count 4 before you move.
I do that here because people the same thing. They'll be trying to make that light, doing 55 and a 30. You gotta look. You just same thing. Like tell your kids, like you don't just cross the street. You look. You make sure. Like
That's
right.
Shit, and then you got to stop at the red light, and the guy gets angry at you because you stop at the red light.
Oh yeah. I want to get out and start fighting because you stopped at the light.
So So when I leave the house, somebody was asking, "Can you pack?" Yeah, you pack, and you don't never know, man. It's like when I go to Walmart, they're nice people here, but we get all kind of crazy stuff at the Walmart parking lots here. They got those lights with the cameras, and I mean, it's all kind of crazy stuff. So you got to be prepared. But the driving here is, if you can drive here, you can drive in the Indianapolis 500.
Yeah, I've seen people freaking out because, around here, a lot of times it'll be like no right on red till after 4 or after 6. Right. There'll be time periods. It'd be like noon or something. You come up to the light, it's clearly red. You wait, and then the next thing you know, somebody's behind you having a heart attack, screaming and threatening to kill you and shit. And you're like, what the hell's going on? Like, can't you read?
Here in the South, you're allowed to make a right turn on red. That's normal everywhere, unless you got a sign that said "Do not turn on."
Right.
On
Same
red.
here in New York. Yeah, unless you got a sign.
You can't do that in the city. When I visited my wife first time, man, I made that right, and I had my sister-in-law in the bag, and I've got North Carolina. Well, at that time, I was stationed in Fort Benning, Georgia. Right out there in Columbus, Georgia.
Pull over.
So I got Georgia tax, I got it, Georgia insurance, and my wife was in the front and my sister-in-law was in the back. She said, don't. And I turned. And sure enough, man, there was two police there, right there at the corner. And they were,
Yeah.
hey. And I stopped, I'm not going to run. I'm in the military. You can't, like I heard you say, you don't want to get in trouble. So, man, they said, hey, don't you know, man, you don't turn right on red. What's your problem? And so let me see your license. So I gave him my license and my insurance. So the guy tapped the other police officer on the shoulder. He goes back there, see my tag, say Georgia, everything. And he told him, he's a country boy, man. Give him a break. And he came back and said, here you go. Don't make no more right turns on red light. And he gave me a break.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, good
That's
for
cool.
you, Jose, because I wouldn't call you a country boy where I come from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
And it's only the accent, man.
yeah.
You
Well, my boss used to say that I was a Puerto Rican redneck. That's what he said.
Good for you, man. You're stepping up in the world.
Hey, because I told him, when I grew up with, not a farm, but it's in the country. We got pigs and rabbits and goats and all that stuff.
So something happened the other day. I guess it was Friday on my way home from work. Got to tell y'all this quick little story. Biker pulls up beside me, and do y'all know those? They're holsters, but they're pretty much just leather straps that go on your belt. Are y'all familiar with those?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this guy's on a motorcycle, and obviously he works in some kind of industrial type thing because he had the vest and stuff on, the safety vest, with the fluorescent strips,
Yeah, reflective.
all that crap. So, all right, he's got one of those holsters, and a gun is just blatantly visible as he's riding his motorcycle. So I take a closer look at the firearm, and it's obviously a Glock 19 or possibly a 22, but more than likely a 19 because that's what they do. And when I tell you this, I want y'all to guess what kind of motorcycle he was on. Okay,
Harley Davidson.
No,
No,
absolutely not.
no.
The polar opposite.
Because on a jig,
It's probably going to be a Honda.
Yeah.
Little shock
Shadow or the
rocket.
V-Star.
Okay, what kind of Honda?
Shadow or the V-Star?
No, V-Star is a Yamaha.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. My fault there.
Goldwing.
Yeah. Maybe Goldwing.
Absolutely a gold
yeah.
wing.
Wing.
He's this dude is yuppied out, guys.
That's well.
Yeah.
To be fair, I know it's not a Harley, but the Goldwing was pretty kind of ahead of its time back when it was introduced. My dad ended up having one. And things like the Cadillac and the bikes back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Radio, reverse, all this shit that just wasn't a thing. Not straight out the factory, at least from my understanding. So I know when I was one of the things he purchased after the service. So
well, they have a V6 Honda car engine.
yeah, it's a damn hell of a bike. Yeah, my foot got ran over by one. I remember that. But yeah, that's just kind of funny. I get what you're saying though. Yeah.
But if you spend any time in the biker culture, which probably none of you have.
I know they're not respected. I know.
I'm not good on two wheels, man.
So this is the thing, man. When it comes to the biker culture, there's two types of people. Well, actually, there's three types of people. There's Harley people, there's Goldwing people, and then there's everybody else. And even the Indians, as nice as those bikes are, and they're American-made motorcycles,
Mm-hmm.
they're the everybody else crowd. So it's kind of hard to fit in, you know what I mean? But when you consider that culture, do you really want to fit in? So there's that. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's my story.
yeah, I never got a motorcycle because I know probably got hurt or killed because I wasn't gonna go slow. So that's why I never got one.
I'm fixing to get rid of mine, dude. I love it, but it's too dangerous to ride anymore.
If I was to get one, as funny as it sounds, I'd probably get a trike
Yeah, those are cool.
just to have the extra stability.
Yeah, they're very popular here in Fayetteville. They got several clubs now.
Well, you've got uh, three cultures of that as well. You have the Tri-Glide, the Harley crowd. They buy the Harley Tri-Glides.
Hmm.
Then there's a segment of that community who have Gold Wings triked out, what they call triked out. And basically, it's a kit that you buy, and you actually have a tire wheel on the car tire on the back wheel. On the two back wheels become no longer motorcycle tires; they're car tires, which is much more affordable if you've ever bought any motorcycle tires. And then there's the Can-Am Spider crowd. And then there's the everything else crowd. But
Chessboard's got a Harley.
I've had a bunch of bikes, different styles, enduros, dirt bikes, sport bikes, ATVs. Shit. I don't know if there's anything.
what are you calling a sport bike?
Like the Yamaha, like what you would call a crotch rocket.
Yeah, that's what I would call a crotch rocket.
Yeah, yeah.
What I call-
Which I gotta say, they're fun bikes, but they're not comfortable, and all they do is bring trouble. I'm just being honest. Maybe it's just me or the bikes, the people that ride them, but there's no good out of doing 180 down the highway on a normal basis. It's just there really isn't, So and it's uncomfortable as hell. You'll get to a light and almost fall over because you can't get your goddamn leg off after riding for a couple hours. It's just it's no good. Like, so, they're fun, not great. Dirt bikes, I love. Enduros, they got their place. Quads, love quads too. Got them for my kids, from the little tiny things with like a damn chainsaw engine all the way up to like 90s and whatnot. Got my lady a quad back in the day, so we used to be all into that for the longest time. But yeah, I've ridden bikes for a long time. Ridden bikes armed. So I don't know. I know people have big discussions about how do you carry on them. But I just carried like I normally carried. We're not an open carry state, so I tried to make sure it was covered or got a jacket over. But that's pretty much it. But I love bikes. Yeah. I will say it's getting dangerous to ride them just because people seem like they're just more careless. It's not necessarily you, but
yeah.
I still like them. If I lived somewhere where it was warm year round, we would definitely have bikes or something as an option. So.
Yeah, I had a soldier that got
they're-
hurt. Yeah, using one of those bikes. I guess you call it Kawasaki Ninjas. I guess when they first came out.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's on base, and the speed there is a street called Long Street. It's about 2 miles long between the first light and the second light. And he, according to the MPs, that's the military police, he was clocked at doing 120 on third gear. He's told me he never got out of third gear. And when he woke up, he was in the hospital. He spent like 2.5 months in the hospital. I'm surprised he made it, but they can move though.
Yeah. I was never a ninja fan myself because of the the way the front fairing and the mirrors. I don't know. I almost bought one once just because it was dirt cheap, but I threw a price to the guy and he was humming and hawing, and I was like, the hell with it. We left, and then the next thing you know, he called up trying to take the money, but I was like, it's better. I don't really want that bike anyway. So the dude screwed up because I can hear his wife yelling in the background. I had the giggles. I didn't ride for a little bit. Went test rode it. It was funny because the dude didn't even think I could ride, and I was pulling some crazy shit in the rain. Anyway, I had the giggles. I would have bought the bike. He should have just took the damn money. So that's a lesson to people. Just take the goddamn money, or else your wife's gonna bitch at you later. And I'm not turning around once I leave.
Yeah, once the cash is crossed hands, that's it, man. It's done.
Yeah, you give me time to think about it, and I'm like, well, I got to replace the plastics. I got to do this. Start running math, and no. When I had that natural high of hopping off the bike, you should have took my money.
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm kind of with Edward out there. I like looking at them, but I don't see me buying one. I think it'd just be trouble.
Have you ridden a bike? Because that's
I would probably get speeding tickets like crazy, man. I like to go fast.
Well, I would recommend maybe a dirt bike, because that's the thing that attracts me is you can let it out. Get a 125, beat the hell out of it, drive it like you stole it. Nice violent ride if you want, and there's no police. There's no problems. You know what I mean? Like, there's not, you didn't accidentally crash into somebody. You're fine. But once you get to that road bike and you get in a mood, shit can get crazy quick.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't see me doing a bike. I don't know. Maybe down the road when I'm older. Who knows?
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, the guy said you're going really fast, but the dotted line becomes one straight line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the truth, the quicker you go, the more stable you feel. Going slow, that's how you do like a road test around the cones. That's like the hardest portion. When you get going, you just kind of sink into the road. But it's different. People got different feelings. I just ask that because some people are like, oh, I hate bikes, but it's like, have you ever truly tried one, like where you weren't being judged and had a chance to play around in a field? You might actually like it. But if not, there's always quads too. I mean, I've had a ball on quads. I got a picture of me actually jumping over the lady, not at a professional place, just at some place we were at. I've had a blast. I made a lot of money. I like underdog shit that's bored the hell out. People show up talking shit, and I walk away with money. Good times.
Yeah, I'd say with how my body is now, I if I was ever to do one, like I said, I'd probably do a trike just for the extra stability. I don't think I could do a two-wheeler. I got too many problems going on that I don't think I'd be able to hold it up properly, and I think it'd cause me a lot more problems.
Yeah, it's not for everybody necessarily, but I just, I hate to see people hate it because they only know the worst. Like, my cousin died on a bike. He was a stunt rider and, practicing without a helmet, barely moving, but fell and snapped his neck. So, but that's not going to keep me from riding a bike. I do wear a helmet though. Yeah.
I mean, I think I'd like it a lot, man. The thing of it is like I said, it's just like right now for me, with all the issues with my back and stuff, I just don't think it'd work out great with two wheels. But
yeah, and it could be somebody else. You go down, and now you're twisted up with a bad back. That's totally understandable. So,
right. One of my good buddies out in Missouri years ago, he started riding, and he called me up one day, all excited about the bike that he got, and this, that, and the other. And I go over to go see him, and go see the bike, and I walk in the door, and he's just kind of sitting there with this look on his face, and I'm like, "You all right, dude? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "Man, I already laid it down." I'm like, "What do you mean you already laid it down?" It's like right after I bought it, I went to go and laid it on the ground. I'm like, so what'd you do? He's like, it's already got scratches all over it. I'm like, God, be kidding me, man. I walk out there, go look at it. Sure as shit, you can see where he laid it down.
Well, unfortunately, that's a lot of that comes down to just a typical guy thing, you know, and you're a guy, so you got to admit it. A lot of times we're like, oh, we got it. You know, we don't want to go buy a 250 to learn. We want the 650, the 1000.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know?
He bought the biggest freaking thing he could
Right,
buy.
right. And then you're like, I got no problems. You don't know what you don't know. You got to respect it. Even if you're a rider, you don't just hop on and just crank two identical bikes. The clutch is worn different. You don't. You
that
respect
thing weighed
it
a freaking
until you
ton,
know it.
dude. That thing weighed a ton.
Yeah. My daughter wrecked her bike thinking she knew it all. So.
He wasn't a big guy either. I was like, yeah, man, that's too much for you. Cool bike, but yeah.
To me, it's more shameful doing that, especially if you got a family. You know, you're probably making payments or this or that. Go tow something like that. It's more shameful doing that than starting off small and outgrowing it. You know, you got to get the basics down. You know what I mean? Being able to gas out of a corner, some of the, you know, it's just, but you know, like I said, a lot of these things that get blamed on that, it's almost like how 22s get a bad rap. If you actually clean the damn things, because we all know it's one of the dirtiest animals out there, they normally run pretty well. You know, if you actually work on your skills on a bike, it's not a big deal. You can jump to a bigger bike, but you still might want to be careful, you know, in certain areas.
One of the other big reasons too, like, you know, drivers today, they're so freaking bad, and you know, you see it all the time where people are just going in and out of traffic, and it's so easy for someone on a bike to get hit.
Yeah, shit, I've almost hit people on a bike, you know, and I look out for people. I've ridden bikes, you know, so I don't want to be that guy, but some of these bike riders drive like assholes too, come right up on the side. Some of them deserve to get hit, and that's where it gives a bad rap, and you got a bunch of division, but you know, this was supposed to be a fun show, and we're probably bumming Jamie out.
I don't know if you've seen any of the videos or not. I've seen some here and there, but people where they're cutting traffic and going up through the middle, and then
splitting, which is legal in some places.
And then someone moves over and they start screaming at them because they moved over. Dude, you're cutting up the middle of traffic.
Like, but that is legal in some states, though.
It's legal, but it's fucking stupid. Why would you do it?
Because you don't want to wait in traffic?
I mean, right, but you're asking to get hit. If you're going to cut up the middle of traffic, you're asking to get hit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, would you not take a right on red if you were allowed to in your car?
What's that?
If you came to a stop sign in your car and you could legally go right on red, would you not, just because it might not be safe?
Well, you're going to stop and look, man. I'm not just going to go for going.
Right. But that could be transferred over to lane splitting at a respectable speed, just cutting through, not whipping through
all the ones I've seen, and I'm just talking about the videos I've seen.
Like, you're just a hater, bro. You're a hater.
All the ones I've seen, these motherfuckers are speeding like a son of a bitch and fucking screaming and cussing out people and all kinds of
smacking mirrors, being dicks and shit. Yeah, I don't like that either. It's all about how shit's done. But I think that goes with anything in life.
Right,
you know?
Right, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So then bikers get a bad rap. You know, and then
I know you're pissed off and jealous when you're sitting there for 45 minutes.
And automatically you go out on the road and everyone's looking at you like looking at all these other assholes.
Yeah, but you got to admit, some of these drivers are pissed because they're sitting there for 35, 45 minutes and you keep seeing these bikers going zoom, 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 and you're like, fuck, I should be able to get where I want to go too. But, that just comes down to transportation choice. So, you can't let that road rage transfer over to this guy that's not going to be late to work. You know?
I mean, trust me, I hate getting stuck in traffic, man. I drive a manual, I hate getting stuck in traffic. It sucks, but it is what it is, dude. You know, there's no reason to get pissed off about it. Nothing you can do. Shit happens, man.
Agreed.
You know, just getting stuck in traffic in a manual is one of the worst things that happen, especially if you're there for a long ass time.
Yeah, or if you got like a stage 2 clutch, well, stage 2 is not too bad, but yeah, for some vehicles it can be a bitch. And I mean, I love manual. I think that should be like training. You should start with a manual and then go to automatic. Personally, I think it makes you more of a driver.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think.
So, yeah. But that's the
I
only
think it should
downfall with the
be.
manual is like driving around New York City or something like that. Like you're really working the clutch, especially if you got anything sporty with an upgraded clutch or anything. It's a workout. Other than that, perfect everywhere. Bad weather, snowy hills, you can reduce power, keep going. You can downshift, brakes are longer. Shit, I took girls on a date when my starter was shot. I just rolled up. Her house was on a hill. Pop started that shit on the way down. She never even knew. Never even knew. Took her out to dinner. Went to a place on a hill. Like
Yeah.
you can do that and still make it to payday with an automatic, but or with a standard, but not an automatic.
Right. There's a lot of things you can do.
You can
With
pop start them automatic. It's just a lot harder and a lot worse for the transmission, but it can be done.
Why don't you make a video with your Rogue showing us that there, buddy?
Pay for the new transmission, I'll do it.
No, I want to call bullshit. I want to see this.
I think there should be required courses, since they do all these courses for kids coming up and getting the licenses and stuff. I think part of those required courses should be going out and driving in the field in the snow, so they can learn how to drive in the fucking snow.
Hey,
So
I
many
grew
people-
up driving a manual transmission in snow. Been there, done that.
Yeah, but so many people don't. Even the people that have lived here all their lives, they have no clue how to drive in snow.
Okay, so you got to admit, Scotsman, every year, the very first snowfall, like everyone seems to forget how to drive in the snow, and then it'll come back for some people. Other people, they're just jackasses, and it's shitty all no matter what. You can't really, that it's just going to be that way. But like, even if you live where there's a snow and you're going to get snow every year, you may not know that you're going to get it at the end of October, or if it's going to be the middle of December. But you're probably going to get snow somewhere. You know it. It's still the first time snow hits, everyone doesn't know what the hell they're doing, and it just happens.
I think statistically every year we have new people driving. So, you're going to have a percentage of people that have never dealt with the snow to begin with, as far as it being a driver. So that's an issue. And then you got the cheapskates that have been holding out on tires. Like they forgot you're supposed to change them, and didn't blow up yet. And that's an issue too. That's why tire sales always jumps up in the winter. And then you got the regulars where, we're cocky, we're good. And then the snow hits and we're like, oh, it ain't bad. And then all of a sudden that first time you turn and kind of lose traction a little bit, you're like, yep. And then I think that's what G23 is kind of saying. So,
Yeah,
and I gotta admit, kind of guilty of that myself. New tires, I'm like, let's play a little bit, and damn near went sideways down the goddamn highway the other day. So, granted, it was all savable and fine, but it was that little pucker moment. Like, yep, okay. So I've been more respectable.
All right, Rob, give us something fun to talk about.
Oh, I don't know, man. The only thing I got is I was saying Jamie's got to have something fun to talk about. I got shit that probably get people all mad, like, stuff going on in politics, the layoffs, the China getting banned, burning coal, and people dying, and what's to happen if our
Yeah,
government.
we need to have something a little more fun to talk about.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, something fun.
Well,
That was
I put
supposed to be dangerous.
new golf grips on my clubs. So I've been doing more research because I want to get back out and play golf again because I think it's going to help my back a little bit. And so I was doing some more research and I came across these oversized grips, and I think they're going to help a lot. And so I went ahead and I bought them. I put them on last week, and I'll tell you right off the rip, what a freaking game changer! Like, holy crap! Where have they been all my life? Yeah, these things are awesome, dude. Absolutely freaking awesome.
So you like that thick, huh?
Yeah, they're a lot wider, thicker. And so for me, it's I kind of compare it to a pistol because I need bigger grips on a pistol. Like I having a larger platform to put my hand on a pistol, and same thing on the club, man. It just works. It just freaking works. I haven't gone and played yet, but I went out in the backyard and did a few swings with it, and I'll tell you, man, it feels a whole lot different.
I'm glad you found something you like there, I guess. But I gotta ask because you're part of the gun community, and I thought it was an unwritten rule that we were against long form golf because it's a perfectly good waste of a shooting range. Mini golf, I'm all for it, but
I didn't say I
18
hit a
holes,
ball.
that's a hell of a range.
I said I went out and I took a few swings.
Okay.
I would never.
Is it okay to be a golfer in the gun community? Is that an okay thing? Because
I would never clear up my range, man. My range is my range. That's what it stays.
What's the rest of the panel think? Is being a long range golfer acceptable in the gun community? Nobody's got an opinion. All right. Well, I guess all these guys like golf then. Okay. Never.
Even the Glock guy kept his mouth shut.
I stopped listening. Rob's running his mouth, and I just started tuning out. I fucking wasn't paying a damn bit of attention. So what the hell was he running his mouth about? Because I wasn't paying any of attention.
So I put new grips on my golf clubs, and they're a lot larger grips. And I was telling him it's a big game changer. I went out in the backyard, took a few swings, and he was saying that's terrible as a gun person to be out there doing that to my range. Well, I wasn't actually hitting any balls on my range. I just went out and swung the club to get a feel for the club.
No. See, I am all for this. Hear me out. We need to invent a new sport. Instead of like clay shooting and crap like that, it's a 2-man team. One person who's hitting the golf ball, the other guy with a shotgun trying to shoot it before it hits the ground.
I like that. That I can get with. Yeah. My thing was, it seems like it's a contrast between the long range or whatever 18-hole golfers versus the people that want a shooting range in their neighborhood. And the golfers, they have more money, so they steal all the land, and so in the shooting community, we're supposed to be against those golfers. That was my statement, but maybe I'm wrong, and I was asking your guys' opinion. But
I mean, we can put it a little more.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, we can turn it into a little more of a competition where you hit the ball and you're trying to shoot it with like a 6.5 need more, something like that. I mean, we can like vary the different guns. I mean, handguns, try it with handguns. I mean, I just figured shotguns to start with because it'd be kind of fun. But, hey, maybe I'm wrong.
Me and Daniel did a video years ago where we were shooting cans, golf balls, and other stuff. way out there.
Yes, but it's one person who's like hitting the golf ball with the club, and the
Yeah.
other guy who's shooting the golf ball out of the air.
Yeah, we haven't done that one. We could do that one. We could definitely do that one. I don't know if Daniel can swing a golf club or not. I don't mean that in a bad way. His back's pretty fucked up too. So
Yeah, I love mini golf. Well, not love it, but that used to be like a date thing or shit like that, or out with friends or whatever. Some of the places like down in Florida, shit. I think maybe even Jersey. Like they got some nice places for mini golf. But it's the whole expense of the clubs, renting the car, all this other crap, and then you got to show up in the clothes, you got to look the part, and it's just, man, I don't know. Maybe I just didn't grow up in that community, but seems like a big ass investment to go put a ball around in the sun. I just don't have the draw to that. The mini golf is quicker. It's cheap. Boom, boom.
You're not looking at it the right way, man. Like there's something about it, right? When you go out there and you're just enjoying nature, dude. You get to enjoy nature, quiet, peaceful.
Well, that's what I do with the hiking and stuff, or boating.
Nice area, green course, fucking trees around, hang out with a buddy or whatever, and drink some beers and hit some freaking golf balls, dude. What's not to love?
All right, I get it. I guess it's just a different form. I mean, I know they say technically, depending on what your goals are in life, golf is a good sport to take part in, just for connections, resources and whatnot. Depending on how you structured your setup or whatnot. But again, it's just as a whole, like, golf just isn't appealing to me. Bowling isn't appealing to me. I'd rather pretend to fish and drink some beer out on a boat with my buddy and stop by the store and pick one up on the way home.
I didn't say I was good at golf. I didn't say I was good at golf. I just said I liked golf.
Right, you just going through the motions, yeah.
I'm out there
cheaper to go down the river or something.
I'm out there having fun drinking beer. I didn't say I was good at it. Just said I like to golf. I mean, I'm semi good at it. I'm not like anywhere near going pro level at it. Obviously, otherwise I would be, but I'm decent.
You wear your kilt when you golf, don't you? That's what this is about. Anything to go out there and show your damn legs off to the rich chicks, huh? That's what this is.
Hey, look, man, don't be jealous, man. Don't be jealous. Unless you understand the feeling of free flow and air, don't be jealous.
Shouldn't you be out pole throwing or some shit? I mean, are you allowed to play golf? Is this even legal?
That'd be the K-bar toss.
So let's get this correct, Rob. Golf was formed in Scotland, and it stood for gentlemen only, ladies forbidden.
Look, let me get something straight here.
I'm learning something.
Pop says exactly how it is. Golfers are mostly arrogant assholes. See, Pops knows me.
Well, what's the new guy's take on golf? There's no wrong answer, unless you can't do it without a Glock. Then you might get in trouble here. But
I don't play golf. I don't play any sports pretty much. I used to do triathlons back when I was a little younger. I did the biking, the swimming, and I ran marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks, you name it.
Yeah. Swimming always killing me.
Yeah.
Swimming will tire you out, and then running and biking too. Damn.
Yeah. Biking was my
PT stud.
Yeah, biking was my passion. Yeah, I could bike for many years. Like the regular bicycles like you see on the Tour de France. Yeah, we run those. We would do what you call a brick. When you train, you do like you swim a mile and then you either run 13 miles or or swim a mile or something. I mean, run 10 miles, and that's how you practice. But that was relaxing for me. I know. So, uh, and
Yeah.
all you needed was a good pair of running shoes, and you can run just about everywhere.
Termination. Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yep.
Yeah,
Now,
no, I'm with
running,
you there.
yeah, running can get. I mean, running can get expensive too, because I used to have a pair of running shoes for long distance, and then one for 10K and one for 5K, which is the 5K is a sprint. It's just a 3.1 mile sprint. Whoever gets there first. So I enjoy that kind of
You're
sport.
lucky
Yeah.
if I can sprint 100 yards.
Yeah.
Well, let me qualify that. I used to.
3.1 freaking miles. Yeah, there ain't no way, man.
Uh,
There ain't no way.
oh man, you run a marathon. Is they call it uh 40K, which is 26.1 miles. And your real race starts around 13 miles. That's when your real race halfway. That's when it starts.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's but
Yeah.
you'll be surprised when your body gets used to. You can and you watch your heartbeat. I could keep my heartbeat maybe at 100, 110 beats per minute for hours. Your heart gets really strong, slows down. It gets stronger because the muscles inside your heart get strong, so the contraction can because the muscles are thicker, the contraction can pump more blood more efficient. All that good crazy stuff, all that geeky stuff.
Hmm.
So, but I was in good shape back then. I'm talking about back in probably from 1980s to the 90s, 97 when I retired. So when I retired, I was 38, and 38, 38 and a half. And that's the best runners are in that age group, 34 to 38. That's when you really peak.
Yeah, Armament Axis brings up a good point. You'll see a lot of people out on the golf course that buy the high dollar drivers and all the rest of it and think they're this, that, the other, and they get out there and they can't hit the ball for squat.
Yeah, like a bunch of shooters.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just, yeah,
Yeah.
they,
They'll go buy the high dollar 1911, 2011,
yeah,
and still can't hit the broadside of a barn with it. Yeah.
yeah.
So you see it all.
I
You see it all the time, man.
think a lot of the golf courses, I think people have all, I don't know, not everybody, but I think a lot of people have alternate motives. It's more of a meet and greet, be able to talk to somebody thing is from what I've seen in some cases. Then you got the guys that just go out and have some fun now and then. But I think so some of them people are probably just looking apart to be there for access to something. You know what I mean? At least from
Yeah,
my
I mean, you get some real snobs out there. If you're not playing fast enough or whatever, and they'll come up and bitch at you because they want to play through or whatever. You got to remember that not everyone's been playing for years, or like myself, I haven't played in a long time. And I go back out there and play. I'm not going to be playing fast. So yeah, people are gonna have to play through because I'm not gonna be playing very quick. So yeah, they got to think about that. But you get people out there and start bitching and all that, you're discouraging people from being there. Same thing with shooters. We kind of
Yep.
talked about this last night on guns, beer, and therapy. You go out there with new shooters and you're teaching them the wrong thing, or you give them a big bore gun and let them shoot it and don't actually give them any proper instruction. You're gonna scare them away from the sport.
That's right. I can tell you this though, golf looks easy, but it's not. You got to have
Oh no,
skills.
it's
Yep.
a mental game as well as a physical. It's all mental because
And
you gotta
precise.
know
Yep.
you gotta know what you hit your clubs
Yep.
and be able to read the course itself. And then when you actually make it to the green, you really need to be able to read a green. And reading the green is probably one of the hardest things to do.
Hmm. In order to hit that ball, I tried. Some of the guys that they're pretty good playing, but they make it look easy, but it's not. I'll tell you, you got to be able to hit that ball at the right spot to make it go where you want it to go.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
yeah.
I would never claim it's easy or nothing. Like the challenge, I guess, isn't the part that it's not drawn. I guess, for me, it's just too blah. If I don't almost die, then it wasn't fun. That's
Yeah, but see,
kind
you're
of where
not.
I'm at.
See,
Like, you know what I
I
mean?
hear you. I hear you. I
see,
hear you.
you haven't done it right though. See, that's the thing of it. Like, I've taken other people out golfing before that have been golfing, and they go, oh, I don't really enjoy it that much, whatever. And then they go golfing with me, and they have a blast.
Yeah.
Look, you go golfing, man. You go, especially with a Scotsman. I'll get you to enjoy golf. You'll love it. By the time I'm done, you'll love it.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be drunk, but it doesn't mean I'll
You'll
love
be drunk off your ass.
Yeah.
We're drag racing carts or something, sure, but you're probably not going to be allowed to come back to that club.
Oh no, you will. You will. The big huge pockets and golf bags. Everyone thinks they're meant for balls and all the rest of it. They're not meant for balls, people. They're meant for beer. That's what those bags are meant for. Those big ass pockets are meant for beer or whiskey, so you can go out, have some fun, and enjoy yourself.
I believe it. I mean, and again, it's for a social thing. It's not a bad, it's not something I would say to discourage, like to your kids if they have an interest, pushing, because again, a lot of things in life, at least in my opinion, come down to kind of who knows you, your connections. So, that's a sport where statistically, if you look at numbers, golf, tennis, stuff like this, if you start looking at finance, people's, if you care about that status, blah blah blah, those are upper sports there in that area for those networking reasons. So there is definitely advantages, if somebody likes it or whatever. So basically, if you're a parent like me that's not into golf, but your kid is, don't push them, help them out. Don't they could get better shit you're not thinking of out of this in the future. So
Yeah, man, that's if they can get good at it, they can go a long way. You can make a good living at golf, dude.
yeah. Plus, if all your friends like work it down at General Dollar and you lose your job, you might get a referral for General Dollar. But if you're friends with people at the golf course and they own dealerships and this and that, you have better opportunities coming your way. So something to consider.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I had to jump out. Thank you for inviting me tonight. So interesting topic. Nice to meet each one of you guys. Let me know if I can help you. I can't golf, but I can try to shoot a rifle down range, so I can help you with that. Appreciate each one of you guys. Man. Yeah, man. Let's do it again. I appreciate you inviting me tonight. Really, really appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by. A lot of times it's more about guns, so this was just kind of.
Oh no, man! I enjoy that. I learned some things. I didn't know you raised motorcycles, and so that's pretty cool.
A lot of us been in all types of stuff. All right.
Yep. Armin is out there. Says he wants to get together in spring. We can figure something out, man. Only issue with me and you, dude, is you're like almost a 3-hour drive one way. That's always the issue. It's a heck of a drive one way to you. But we'll figure it out.
All right. Cool having a new guy in here. So I would have loved to talk more about 22, but we've been sidetracked on other stuff. So since he's another dude that seems to represent 22.
Oh, yeah, he's big on 22.
Yeah, I'll just say it for anybody who doesn't know. I love 22s. It's cheap. And so that just fits my budget. Plus, it's around grandma could use, your kids could use, you could use. You know, in the end, shooting. Of course, there's better calibers and all that type of stuff, but all around, 22 is just a damn fun round. You know, and you don't cry about shooting it, at least financially. So, yeah, I love 22. And I think it gets a bad rep, like I brought up earlier, where everybody, oh, it's so undependable. I personally don't have those issues, but I'm a clean freak when it comes to my firearms. So, yeah, I'm not saying I've never had a round not work or something like that, but as far as would I trust them, I would trust it to go off in my guns. I don't know. So I just, again, I think 22 gets a bad rap, and somebody else is willing to take the shame put upon them for liking 22. You know, look forward to talking to them again.
No, there's nothing wrong with 22. Like I don't hate 22. I just never really got into 22 because I've always been a big bore guy, and that's just kind of how I started. You know, I kind of went backwards, man. You know, I just got my first 22 rifle last year, so you know, I went backwards.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like everyone else. I started off with a 44 Magnum and a 30-06. So, you know, I went the opposite direction. But I mean, 22 is cool, man. It's got its place. You know, and like the rifle that I picked up this past year, it's an old Winchester, and it's a beautiful fucking rifle, dude. Beautiful. You know, I'll get a video out on it here sometime soon, but you know, it's got a jeweled bolt, beautiful wood stock. You know, the thing is freaking sweet.
Yeah. Shit, 22, I think, is the first round I've ever shot out of a revolver on the railroad tracks with my mom and her boyfriend when she was picking me up for a visit on the weekend. And obviously, I loved it as a little kid. So, yeah, it's not what brings me back to it. Honestly, it's affordability, and it doesn't matter who's in the crew that day or the group, everybody can shoot it. You
Right.
know, yeah, that's what I think is nice about it. So, not that people should limit themselves to it or whatever, but at the same time, if you have your 70 some odd year old grandma, if that's all she can handle, I'd rather she use that instead of a phone. So
Right. It's better than nothing, you know.
right, yeah,
I've had that question quite a few times over the years of, you know, what's good for defense for someone who's older and maybe can't, you know, pull the trigger on this or do that. If 22 is all they can handle, 22 is all they can handle. It's better than the frickin' stick. You know, let them shoot it. If that's what they can shoot and they're comfortable with it, let them shoot it.
yeah. Despite what people think, I mean, it's not your go-to, but it's responsible for taking a lot of life within the U.S.
It's if you get the right placement, the right shot placement, yes, it will take them out. 22 is renowned for bouncing all over the head, all around the brain.
Quick follow-ups, nasty wound patterns because they don't compress and stuff. They'll just ride around. So yeah, they can be ugly. I mean, I don't want to get shot with one. I don't want to get shot with anything. Obviously,
I was gonna say I don't want to get shot with anything.
Yeah. But yeah. It's to me, I just love the fact that it is like you don't even have to you can be cheap like me and it doesn't bother you to go out and shoot 1,000 rounds with some friends or something.
Right. No,
It's
I
not
get
gonna
it.
kill you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I love going out and shooting lots of 9 and 44 and all the rest of it. But yeah, it gets pricey. I mean, even as a reloader, it gets pricey. You know, I got a lot of money invested in taking care of that and making sure I got rounds all the time. And, you know, I got a lot of time invested because everything, you know, time is money. And, you know, it takes a lot of time to get that stuff loaded. So, yeah, I get it. You know, 22 is fun. You can walk out the door and just start plinking, man.
Oh yeah. So Jamie back with us. or did he take? He's still busy with the wife. He might be busy with the wife. 'Cause I figure he's probably got some 22 stories too. So
I bet he does.
man,
Don't buy, don't whatever you do, don't buy Brown and 22 ammo. It sucks.
okay.
Don't don't be peer pressured into buying stuff by this guy down there.
Yeah, I heard what was it? A knockoff thing from Cabela's sells some brand that's supposed to stay away from too. I don't know. I usually try to get like the Federal, Winchester, CCI, you know,
Yeah, I got
stock the CCI and use it for testing. I don't just necessarily use that for the range. I keep that for, you know, other stuff or whatever in a sense.
yeah, when I
But
bought that rifle last year, I got a 50 cal ammo can full of 22 as well. So I got plenty of 22.
there you go. Yeah. Yeah, really, you know, we all have our preferences and stuff like that. The ones I've had the most trouble with are those Remingtons. You know, I call them Remington duds, but you know, maybe at the time the lots and whatnot, you know, might have been horrible because other people seem to swear by them. But for me, you know, shit, some of the rounds were falling out of the casing just out and in the box, or they'd be put in there crooked on a 45-degree angle, and you know, it was, you know, maybe great for like a training purposes or something, but I don't know. I avoided those, but you know, and again, other people swear by them and, you know, never had a problem with them. So maybe it
Yeah,
depends on lot and years or what you got. So,
I've even seen CCI fall apart before.
yeah, so I haven't seen that, but I'm not saying, you know, nothing's perfect out of so many million or whatever. You're going to have an issue or something with even center fire. But, you know, I've had one of those where there was no hole drilled in the primer pocket. So, you know, it struck the primer and the primer went off, and then the damn thing just kind of burned up in the gun, and the slide didn't want to move, almost like it tried to weld itself shut. So that was a bit. So that's center fire. So you can have a problem with anything. Yeah.
Oh
But
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I've had problems with factory ROMs constantly, you know.
yeah.
Everyone talks about reloaders and having, you know, problems, but no one ever really talks about factory rounds and problems, man. I've had problems with factory rounds constantly over the years. You know, it's still the same process as a reloader. It's just done on a lot more machinery and probably with less people involved. It's probably a little more automatic. So yeah, you're still gonna have problems. You gotta pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. I want a 22 revolver. Not just because of, you know, the kid being the first one I shot, but yeah, I just would like to have one, you know, for fun, I guess you could say. It feels different in the hand shooting it, you know, it's different to load it, you know, more of a range thing, or I don't know, maybe something my mom would possibly use, you know, or something. I don't know, you know, shit
Yeah.
hit the fan or something weird. I don't know, you know what I mean? But it just would like one basically. But the one I'd like is that damn Smith and Wesson. I can't even remember the name now, but Jesus, man, like I think they wanted like $700 to $800 for the damn thing. Like it's a 10-shot 22. Uh, Damn, that seems like a lot of money. It's like I'm paying real revolver price for a damn 22, you know?
Yeah, that's a Smith for you, man.
Yeah, like,
You're
why I
paying
don't have one
you're
yet.
paying for it.
Yeah, I'd want one, but God, you know, I'd love to find one used for 350. That's probably not a thing, but
Yeah, that's maybe 5, maybe 6, but I doubt you'll find it less than that.
yeah, it kind of sucks. Hopefully, maybe one day somebody will get hired up for some money, but and I can be like, well,
Yeah,
it's only a 22, you know?
you could go look for one of the older ones too. they still, they're still out there. You can find one of the older ones probably for a good price.
Yeah, I don't. As long as it works, I'm not. Yeah, I don't care if it's new or anything like that. But
Right. That's what
yeah,
I'm
I'd
saying.
rather it was that style than like the what do they call them? The heritage and
Right, the heritage. Yeah,
yeah.
you can go on Gunbroker and probably find something. It's not going to necessarily be like a 10 rounder like you were looking at, but you find you one of the older Smiths that and you'll probably be able to find something at a decent price.
Nice. Yeah, that's something I got on my one day list. Hopefully one day when I'm not suspecting and come across something at a price I can't say no to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean, like I'm always looking, man. I'm not necessarily always in the market, but I'm always looking. And if I find something or something pops up one day, and oh, hey, you know what? I might want that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking. I'm always paying attention. I get sales emails every single day from companies. I get a ridiculous amount of emails, but that's what happens when you've been doing it for so long. But yeah, it's you go through all this stuff, and I look at it every day, man. And some days I go, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind having that, but just keep an open mind and go on Gunbroker, and there's other places too that you can look, and you might be able to find something local to you too. You never know.
Yeah. So what do you think of I don't know if you've seen it across your feeds or whatever, but apparently lots of layoffs. I figured it could be a gun topic community of our community topic in a sense, because I'm sure it's probably affected people somewhere throughout our community. But from what I'm seeing, seems like every other day different factories are getting closed down, this and that, which obviously ain't good. Is it, if there was more people on here, I'd say, has it altered how you think about your spending for the year? Anything like that? You're going to be a
I
little more
mean,
careful. You're not too worried at your job,
like personally, I'm not too worried where I'm at because I know the position I'm at is one that is not something they can just fill overnight. Like for the job I do, it takes almost a year just to train someone, so they're not just going to let someone go. But other positions throughout the plant, yes, there's probably going to be people let go at some point. There's been a lot of rumors going through the plant the last couple months, and it's happened the last 3 or 4 years in a row almost, where come March, April, they let a bunch of people go. And business really hasn't picked up like they were thinking it was gonna. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there'll be some layoffs coming up here soon. My guess would probably be March. But as far as my position goes, I'll probably be okay. I'm not like super worried on that, just because I know how much goes into training someone for that position. It's not something they can just hire someone overnight for and put in there. So
well, sometimes companies do stupid shit for stupid reasons, and it
they
makes me
do,
wonder how
but
they still in business. So I'm not
I've
trying to
gone
say you should be
through.
worried or nothing, but I wouldn't. I'd warn anybody out there,
No, I mean,
not to be 100% confident
oh
if
no,
you're
no,
working
no.
for somebody else.
I've been there. I've been there going on 8 years, and I've been in that position going on 7. And in the last 6, they've let people go every year. So I'm fully aware that something could potentially happen, but
Yeah.
it's again, we have a limited amount of people in that job that I do, and it's a very specific skill job that you have to learn. So it's not one that they typically let people go unless you're really fucking something up.
Yeah, I just basically put a general warning out to the community. I mean, it's not like I got laid off or something, but just from what I'm seeing, don't stretch yourself too thin. The way shit's going, the way things have been going, and from what they say on the job market and stuff, like it's probably
you
the
look
best
at
time to be trying to, take on more debt and then unfortunately get stuck looking for a job. So
right. You look at the general market as it sits anyway. Inflation's still pretty decently high and all the rest of it. Groceries are still pretty freaking expensive. Gas is still up there. It's not come down yet. They keep saying it's gonna, but it hasn't. So yeah, I mean, obviously be smart with your money. Don't be dumb with it. But
don't extend yourself out. I mean, that would bring me to, the question of the 50-year mortgage. I mean, I have an opinion, but I don't know if it's something you want to get on. But see, Jamie's back, so maybe he's got something for us.
I'll say this on the 50-year mortgage. Absolutely hell no. Don't be a dumbass. Don't do it.
I agree. I don't think it solves the problem. I just think
that's just like trying to extend cars even further too. I've heard they want to
9 years.
Cars even further.
9 years.
Out a car past that 5-year mark, you're just giving them money. You're not doing anything but giving them money.
Yeah, I think both bad investments right now. I mean, it sounds good because the payment's cheaper, but because that payment's cheaper and it's a longer payment, you're paying a lot more for the same item. So, basically what I'm getting at is, the way things are pushed, things aren't cheaper. They're just making it easier to pay for. So don't be fooled and, go out on a limb and buy that tank you just got enough for, and then something happens.
Right.
Yeah, never more than a 15-year mortgage, never more than 1/4 of your take home, your gross pay. And if you want to know whether you should do something like that or not, do the math and see what it's going to cost you over the long haul. When you buy something that, say, buying a car, 7% interest for 7 years, do the math and see what it's really going to cost you. All of a sudden, a $30,000 car is costing you $55,000 or $65,000.
Yeah,
it can. Yeah,
that's exactly it. You're paying out the wazoo. And the other part to that too is, don't be the guy that just pays the minimum payment, because it's gonna take you even longer to pay that shit down.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay more every time.
But doing that, the bad part with doing that, I totally agree. I would be the same way. Do it cheap enough where you can do a double payment, so it's done quicker. But according to your credit, that's actually a negative. They want to see, like, wait until the end, then pay. Wait till the end, then pay. They don't want to see double payments. Like, that actually can hurt your score. So I've been told. I'm not one of them credit people, but to me, the whole thing seems crazy. I was old school, and if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. Save your money. Half the time, you find another reason to spend that money. You don't even want that in the end, but save up and buy it. I'm that type of dude. But if you're into that, double payments can kind of hurt your credit, from what I hear. But go ahead, Jamie. Why is that?
When it's this thing called amortization and compounded interest. When you first start making your payment on your car, I would say 85% of that payment is interest. In other words, the finance company's getting their money off the top.
Same with housing. Yep.
Amortization is a big thing. It's how finance companies and mortgage companies make money. When you pay your payment, like whatever your set payment is, say for that $30,000 car that's going to wind up costing you $65,000. All right, the company that made the car is getting their $30,000 right now. You own the car, or you and your finance company own the car. They got their money. The car's gone. Okay, they're satisfied. Now you have this $30,000 car, which the moment you drive it off the parking lot is now worth $18,000 because now it's used. And then when you make your payment and you're paying, let's say 85% of that first payment is interest and only 15% is principal, when you make more than your minimum, more than your payment, you're paying on principal. So at that point in time, you're knocking it down, knocking the balance down quicker, and you'll pay your.
So they can charge you less, and that's why they don't like it.
Right. They
No,
don't like
they will make.
Right.
They're not charging you any less. Your payment is still your payment, but you're going to pay off the principal quicker, and they won't make as much money as
they're not making as much in interest.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically, yeah, that's what I mean by it. Yeah.
But
Yeah. But I still think it's not a bad idea if you're forced to buy something on credits. I mean, shit, say it's a washer machine, pay it off as quick as possible just because something else happens and it's a real emergency. You're not stuck, because that's what it seems to be. They say 70% of Americans are in debt right now with credit cards and whatnot. And I bet most of them people had it under control in the beginning. And then one little thing adds up, and then, the car breaks or this happens. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, shit. So the whole point is avoid that oh, shit. You got to have leeway.
Yeah,
Don't
man,
get stuck, become a debt slave.
Definitely happens. I mean, like we had the whole BS with COVID and all that. And I know a lot of people got in a lot of debt during that time and all the rest of it too. And, I get it. Shit happens, man. And you got to do what you got to do. But, like you said, you don't want to be putting yourself out there and overstretching if you can help it.
Well, not just that. Look at it another way. The car company made the car. The home builder built the home. They got the money invested, So they've got money on the line. They made their money. They got paid by the finance company or the mortgage company. All that finance company, the mortgage company did to make money was spend money. You've heard that saying, it takes money to make money. That's what they did. They paid for your car. They paid for your house. Now you got to pay them back. And that's how they make their money. All they have invested is money. Whereas the car company has got materials, they've got labor, all this other stuff. They made their money. But to me, these finance companies and the mortgage companies, they've got money that makes money, and they didn't really do nothing but supply the money. You understand what I'm saying? It seems like they're getting over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're doing great right now. Like as far as stocks, all that, they're making big money because credit's a big thing. I mean, they've been pushing it for years. Like I said, I'm old school. Credit's a bad thing, in my opinion. All that means is you're great at borrowing money and horrible with finances, which is the complete opposite of what modern day people will say. Well, how could you buy a house? How could you buy a car? The same goddamn way. You're just not paying more to do it. You stash money away. You stash money away. You make money, deals that has your money make money. You stash money, then eventually you buy it. It's just everybody's been convinced you got to have it now, and this is how it's done.
Well, that's
because the banks and creditors have made it that way. you know, but
The system is designed that way to get people to remain to get themselves that way and be struggling on purpose. That's what they want. They don't want you to be.
it's more debt. It's, you know, it's your house poor, your car poor, you're a damn slave for one or the other. And that's another thing. They're saying, according to the numbers, 51%. Excuse me, 51% of people's income goes towards car payments. Like that, what kind of math is that? Like, you know, back in high school, they used to tell you like this percentage for your, you know, a vehicle or for a car or whatnot. You shouldn't rent a place, you know, for this much unless you make this much. Like there's a scale to this stuff. It's way out of whack. And it's all because, well, you only got to pay a little bit now, you know, but I don't know.
Well, again, it's designed to keep you poor and keep you down. They don't want you succeeding. They don't want you to have the American dream.
Yeah.
People say, check this out. People say 700 is a good credit score. 600 is a bad credit score. 500 is a pitiful credit score. What's the ideal credit score? The ideal credit score is 0 because you don't have any credit history.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I've never had a credit card, but you know, I've never owned a brand new car. You know, some of this stuff, it's not easy for me to rent a car. Like life's a little different, but you can do it. You can do a lot of stuff with a, you know, debit card or whatnot. But it's just, I don't know, you know, and it's not for everybody. Don't get me wrong. And so many people have been told that's the way to do it. But for me, it's the same thing. Is like going down to the corner store and hoping you can pay it back when you get paid or something. Like it's just, you know, it's something you wouldn't be proud of. You know what I mean?
No, I mean it's like years ago when I'd been here, but I don't know, I'd been here a few years, and I went ahead and bought a truck, and I paid the truck off within 3 years. I think it was a 5-year loan. I paid it off in 3. And I had the company kept calling me almost every month going, you don't have to pay that much. You don't have to pay that much. Prime example of them trying to stop you and make their money because, you know, they're losing money because I'm paying more. But I got it all paid off, all the rest of it, whatever. And then like a year or 2 later, I went to go do something and they go, you don't have any credit. And I'm like, what do you mean I don't have any credit? I just paid off my fucking truck. And they're like, well, yeah, you paid it off, so you don't have any credit. You got to be in debt to have credit. I'm like, what? It's the most fucked up system. You have to be in debt to have credit.
Yeah, I think it's like that. I mean, it's a bad thing when you look at, you know, if you want to go rent a place or whatever, everybody wants to do a credit check. Like, to me, if you haven't been sued and you don't have credit, would be a better sign, you know, stable job indicator than somebody that's, you know, just loaded up on credit, to me, because you handle your shit without credit. So obviously you can take care of your business. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. But again, apparently I'm ass backwards, you know, according to society. But
no, I mean, you are in New York, so that's a given.
There's Kyle Lusk. What's up, Kyle?
Yeah, I don't harp on people because I don't do credit. I realize that's the way the world's been set up, and many people may not have realized until you were in the trap. I mean, shit, even I got hit with student loans like an idiot. So, you know,
yeah,
none of it's perfect. Yeah, and then, you know, depending on what you want to do, but at least, you know, the one thing I could say, I don't know if people are like, you know, you don't know if you got a steady paycheck. How do you sleep at night? You know, and I would tell you that can be difficult, you know, and you got a budget from summer to winter and all this stuff. But to me, what bothers me more is like, what if I couldn't come up with that payment? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I can't sleep at night like that. You know, there's something like that. Like, you know, a buddy of mine had his van, his car, his motorcycle, his house, all on credit. Dude was counting change just to get to work. Like, he couldn't do shit. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to take a day off, or, you know, something happens in my car, I can light the bitch on fire. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to be
Right. You don't want to be trapped in the
hold
system.
into something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
To
you
me,
don't want to be
that
trapped in the system.
scares me to death, you know?
Yeah, it's a tough situation for a lot of people because a lot of people back, didn't realize they were being trapped at the beginning, and then no, X amount of years, whatever into it, they realize they're trapped in the system,
Yeah. It's like everybody would bitch about Rent-A-Center, but yet they set their lives up on a Rent-A-Center format. Your car, your house, your wedding ring, everything's on credit.
Right.
It's a bad deal. But again, I'm not harping on people. I understand we all got different paths and came into shit at different points, and we're told different things at different times. But
you
don't be a
you were
slave, whatever
talking
you're doing.
about you were talking about having a more fun topic, and here you are fucking talking shit again and bringing the
Well,
check
that's what happens
down.
when Jamie leaves. He left us here to bitch about the world. We were trying to have some happy 22 conversation and different things, and they went downhill. Bring us back, Jamie.
I'll finish this up with a Bible verse. It says that the borrower is slave to the lender, and if you read your Bible, you'll find out that God talks more in His Word about how to handle money than a lot of stuff. It's one of those things. We got Walter and Ozzy bouncing in here right as it's time for us to clear the decks.
Oh,
That wasn't too shabby. I'll give you that. Yep, it's about that time. So with that being said, Rob, what you got coming up, man? Anything?
no, man, no. Trying to stay out of the news and dodge the landmines. But thanks for having me, and thanks for joining us, folks. Hopefully, we didn't depress you or upset you. So, other than that, again, thanks for having me. It was nice having another guest on here or whatnot, somebody different. Change the conversation a little bit. Unfortunately, we didn't really cover too much gun stuff at that point, but and Jamie, hopefully your wife gets better, and that's all I got, man. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Awesome, man. Always appreciate you being here. No, it's nice to have someone new on, and anyone out there that wants to come on, you guys are always welcome. You just gotta let us know, and shoot me your email address, and we'll get you on here. As long as you're not a complete, douchebag or love Glocks too much, you'll be okay. You'll fit right in. But if you're a Glock lover, you're not welcome. You're just not. I don't know what else to tell you. You're just not welcome. I'm not gonna lie to you. With that being said, though, I appreciate everyone out in the side chat. You guys rock. Appreciate y'all being here, watching, hanging out with us, having some fun. And Alan apologizes he couldn't be here. Alan's got some stuff going on. Hopefully he can make it here with us again soon. But in the meantime, Jamie, please take us out right, brother.
Thanks for having me, and I enjoyed it. I'm sorry I was in and out so much, but y'all check us out Friday nights at 8 o'clock on the Georgia Shooting Connection channel. I'm going to be working on some videos, quite a few products to review. I don't like doing that. I want to make more videos about load development. I think the next video I do needs to be on my Marlin 44 lever action. But until then, remember, keep your magazines loaded. One in the chamber. Woo!